Alright, so we were cleaning up a Bachmann BQ23-7, and guess what we found? As you can see here, it is a cracked gear. So we are going to perform the now famous baking soda super glue fix on it. And this is kind of a critical gear. As you can see here, it goes in there. Yep, it is not the wheel gear. It is one of these final drive gears. And I could hear that there was a cracked gear in there when I ran this thing. And sure enough, there is. My guess is, based on the fact that this locomotive is over 40 years old, and it's super clean inside. So whoever had this cleaned it, and by the looks of the oil in it, I'd have to say they might have used sewing machine oil, because it's unbelievably clean for being so old. And the oil is very clean as well, and it hasn't seemed to turn any parts too brittle. But that kind of oil causes that right there, and we can't have that. So let's go ahead and fix it. Alright, step one is we need to clean this thing. This gear needs to be oil free before we can do this. If we don't, we'll end up with a defect in it. So I'm going to start off with a little purple power from Walmart. Go ahead, get that on there. And I'm going to take my little toothbrush here, a nice soft brush, and I'll go ahead and I'll foam that up here. This degreaser should go ahead and fix this up as far as getting rid of dissolving that oil and getting it off there. Okay, I'll move over to this paper towel here. Start to get rid of this degreaser. This thing is coming all the way apart, as you, I don't know if you can see this now. Let's put this down here. And if you can see, this gear is just about split in half. And we're going to give that, I'm pretty sure we can fix it. Now that we've done the degreaser, we need to do a second step. And I've got some regular old spray and wipe that I got at the dollar store. You just throw it in a spray bottle with some water, and it's a little bit of a mild detergent. Yeah, this gear is totally split. And now here's the thing. Some people will say this will leave detergent on there, which is bad, which that is bad. So they don't like to do this. But I find that this is an essential step. That degreaser stays around a little bit. Makes it difficult to work with. Alright, we got a nice clean gear. Okay, and is it dry? Yeah, that dries up pretty nicely. Okay, so it should be clean enough now. And I've got a pile, you can see right here. Here's my baking soda. I just put a little pile. I'm not going to use hardly any of that. And I'm going to use this screwdriver. Very small, just about the size of the gear. Okay, now let's see if I can get my super glue ready. So if it's not all gummed up. Let's see here. Oh, yep, there we go. We got a bead of super glue. We can use that bead right there. That's probably what we're going to do. So first, let's go ahead. I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to take a little on the top of my screwdriver, and I'm going to get that baking soda on there. And this time it looks like I got to do both sides. This split is pretty bad. Now here's the thing. The fix is harder than the gear was when it was made. And so we got to take that into consideration here, that we might end up making a fix that is much harder than what we started with, and that can cause problems of its own. Alright, so I got some in there. I need to give it a little dusting, so let's go find a small paintbrush. Okay, I've got a nice soft paintbrush here. And I want to give this a little dusting. What I don't want to do is end up with baking soda inside where the shaft has to go, because then I got to risk putting this thing on the drill press, and that's a high risk operation. Okay, so I've dusted with baking soda. It's looking like we need to check it to see if it's going to fit back together. And yes, it is going to fit. It's going to be very hard to focus on. But giving it a squeeze here, it is going to fit back together, which is good. If you let these things go for over time, they often will not set right. But at the same time, this super hard baking soda fix will, you can get in there with a jeweler's file and you can fix that. All right, we're ready for the super glue. Let's go and get some on our tool here. All right, I got it on my screwdriver. I'm just going to paste it on right there just a little bit. That's looking pretty good. Give it a good squeeze. Did we get it? Did we get our fix? I think we did. Okay, let's hold it nice and tight for a second. This one had a double split. Give it a little blow. Let's take a look on the back. That double split did not go all the way through. So I think we have it. I think we have our fix. And with the baking soda, that fix is instant. So let's go ahead and try putting our shaft in here. Now, here's what's going to happen. If it's not good, it'll split out the other side, which we did not glue yet. Oh, that shaft is going on there just right. And on this one, on this side, we just need to go down a little bit. I can see the split already on the other side, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the shaft on the right way. Okay, pressed it down a little bit. And I would say that's not quite enough. That's pretty good. Let's just see if it's going to fit in to the gearbox. This gearbox is really full of grease. No, I need to push it down a little more. Now, it's better to push it down on the table. And I'm pushing on top of the cracks here so I don't make more. Just a little bit. I'm going to ease it in there. And I'd have to guess that is the proper distance. It could go a little more. These gears like to get out of place. I can already tell that with our fix, our gear is definitely stronger than it was before, because it was pretty easy for me to move it. So yeah, let's see if you can see what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to make it match in here, and by rubbing my thumb along the shaft side right here, I can tell it is not all the way down. I want that to be flush. So I give another couple pushes here, and this time that's feeling pretty good to me. I rub my fingers along the side here. And it feels nice. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do one more thing. Since I know that there's another crack on the other side, and I know under stress that crack is going to happen, I'm going to take a tiny bit of baking soda. I'm going to dust it on the top here. Now, I don't really want to get it in the shaft, but it doesn't matter if I do. Okay, I've got my dusting, and I can see that. You won't be able to see it, but I can see it here, and you'll be able to see it when you do this, that we got a little bit into the crack there. Baking soda goes in pretty good. Now I'm just going to take my screwdriver on my little spot of glue. I'm go ahead and I'm just rub some on. Give it a blow. There we go. That's protection for the future. So now we've got our Bachmann cracked gear fix. And we're going to try it. We're going to find out if what we did really did work. I'm going to put it in here. This thing is full of grease. It's full of oil. I'm going to clean this oil out of here later. But for right now, this oil will be just fine to find out if our fix actually worked. Okay, I've got my 2 alligator clips on here. Let's go ahead and let's set this, take a piece of tape roll, set it on the tape roll. I've got it hooked up to the power. Let's try it. She's spinning. Do you hear that? The clicking sound is the repaired gear. When it's not repaired, that clicking sound is much louder. Very nice. Cracked gear problem solved. That's what we like to see. There is hope when you crack gears on your old Bachmann and Lifelike pancake motors. And that's it.